If you want to be rich and you know you would use it for good things, if you are spiritual and also ambitious and you like to manifest, and you know that being rich, being wealthy is just your birthright, it's what we are here to experience, it's one of the ways we can do great things in the world, and you just want to call your abundance to you, then I am really excited because that's what I want to talk about in today's video. I have 5 identities you can embody today, right away, that will help you if you're into manifestation techniques. I mean, you do not have to do these. These are things that I picked up along the way in my transformation and my shift, but I'm not a huge manifestation technique person or anything like that. So I understand if you're not really used to making effort to manifest, because we're manifesting at all times and you can shift just like that. But these are some fun ways to do it if you want to try it, and you can just do it for 5 minutes, you can do it for a whole day, you can do it for a month or a year if you want. I mean, by a year, after a year, you'd be like rolling in it, but rolling in dough. So you really only need to do them like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but these are just some possibilities you might want to try, and they're really, really fun. So I'm really excited. So let's get started. I have 5, and what do I mean by embody them? It just means you internalize that identity, you encompass it, you walk and talk in that way as if it were your story, as if it were true, and that helps you to step and shift into a new identity. It's also good practice just to shift out of your old identity if that's what you want to do. If you want to change your life, if you want to transform identities, or you just want to bring wealth and abundance to you by using your identity to do so, yeah, you embody it, you walk and talk. You might just do it in a 1 minute walking past someone and use that person as, like what are they called? A non-player character? I'm not up with what the kids call it, but like you can just use it in short interactions in life, walking past someone on the street, or like I said, you can embody it for days and weeks and months. It's funny. They're all funny. The first 4 are basically identities that you can embody in that way that I say. Like you can imagine, use your imagination to embody it and make it happen. The 5th one is more of an actual physical thing that I did and still do. Okay, the first one is that you embody the identity that it is almost an embarrassment how much wealth you have, how rich you are, how much you have in your bank account and what's about to come in, the transactions that take place. We spend so much of our lives feeling shame for other things that our family shame us for, people, society shame us for. How about we use shame in this way to our advantage and try to embody a very fun, joyful, but almost embarrassed identity, considering all the riches and wealth that you have. Give this one a go. I think you'll find it really fun. It's kind of got to do with how there are people suffering on the planet. There is homelessness, for example. I mean, my family, they like to say, oh, don't go to America, there's homelessness there. Well, I'm sorry, there's homelessness in Australia, and I don't pretend it doesn't exist. I live in a place where there are a lot of homeless people, probably one of the biggest concentrations in Sydney, if not the whole of Australia. I don't pretend it doesn't exist. I know if you're watching my videos, if you're watching this, that you're the kind of person that when you achieve those things that you're planning to achieve, you're not going to ignore the hardships of people in the world. But it's an element in this first identity, because it's like, wow, do I get to embody this? Do I get to live this life? And yes, you do. And of course, we're just using our imagination, so you're not even actually doing it. So if you cross over into like actual shaming territory, then cut it, like stop. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about an identity where things are so good, you're almost embarrassed to talk to friends and family, to exist on that frequency. All right, number 2 is you are extremely rich, but you are keeping it under wraps. So You can walk around in the world. Nothing has to change in your current environment, your current situation. You just embody the identity that nobody knows how much of a windfall you just got, or how wealthy you've become from investing, or whatever your dreams are. But you just embody the identity that you're keeping it a secret, you're keeping it under wraps, you're not telling friends and family, you're not telling nobody about how rich you are. And obviously there's no limit. You can try to stretch your imagination and your capacity for abundance and receiving from God, from the universe, your birthright. And as far as you can imagine it, as far as you can hold it, do so. Stretch every day if you want to. But imagine that, you're, for whatever reasons, which you can also imagine, you're keeping your wealth under wraps for now. Maybe you're going to plan a huge surprise trip for everyone. So you need to keep your wealth under wraps, because if you start, telling them about the trip, you'll ruin the surprise. So that's just, there's no limit to how much you can imagine. All right, number 3 is very similar. It is succeeding at a project and keeping it to yourself. So it's a little similar to number 2. Number 2 is more about like a financial wealth number, or just the idea of abundance coming in and not telling anyone about it, or having success at abundance of financial type. But number 3 is more like success at a project, your hopes and dreams that you've been working on, a goal or project that you've had in mind, and you keep the abundance and success of that under wraps. You keep it to yourself. So why don't you try walking out into the world? As I say, nothing in your environment, nothing in your current circumstances has to change for you to embody new identities, even for 5 minutes. And imagine that you've succeeded at that project. And I know a lot of high achievers in the world, they use visualization, even revenge moments, imaginary, not actual revenge moments, but just moments where you get to tell someone what you have succeeded at. So it's sort of I'm talking about a sort of similar vein to those kinds of things, but I'm not necessarily talking about visualization, which is super powerful, but that's where you sit and you close your eyes and you visualize it happening. I'm talking about go out into the world, and as you walk and talk, embody the identity of someone whose project has just been a huge success, but you're not telling anyone about it yet. And you again will have to imagine the reasons why, maybe, or you don't have to have a reason, because you're a fucking success. Okay, number 4. Oh, I love this one. Number 4 is the last one of the kind of imaginary embodiment types, but I use this all the time because I have an overpass bridge near my house that I walk across pretty much on the daily, and it's shaped exactly like those tunnels where you're getting on a plane. So number 4 is imagine that you're getting on a plane tomorrow. So I use that bridge like to imagine I'm getting on the plane right in that moment. But I often do imagine that I'm going to Tokyo tomorrow. I'm going to New York City tomorrow. If you've been on a trip before, that helps, because if like before going to Disney, something like that, you're just ready. You're so excited. You're so prepared, and you're the embodiment of a world traveler. So if your dreams and hopes about wealth and abundance have to do, like most of mine do, with world travel, then this is the perfect one for you, because you just embody that feeling, that identity of, oh my gosh, I'm going to Tokyo next week. I do this all the time. I do more than one. So I'll be like, I'm going to Tokyo tomorrow, and from there I'm going to ... Singapore or whatever. You can do it with resorts you want to stay at, hotels you want to stay at, people you want to visit. Just put it in your head that it's actually happening tomorrow, or in a week, or on Wednesday. I like to say that sometimes, like I'm going to Tokyo on Wednesday. Just lifts your mood and raises your frequency anyway, even if you don't actually want to try and manifest that particular thing. Okay, number 5 is the last one, and it is not an imaginary thing, it's a real thing, and I use this I still use it full on to my advantage. It's really cool. And that is exclusive members lounges. Now you may think I'm completely, I hope you don't use the B word, but the BROKE word, but I'm completely unable to afford a members lounge. That's why I dream about them all day. Well, yes and no. Don't sleep on this, because in your city, especially if you live in a major city, there are memberships and private lounges all the fuck around. And like, if you're a student, it's even better because you get them at so cheap. So I should take you guys in, because I joined the National, it's not called the National, it's called the Art Gallery of New South Wales. I joined their members lounge because I would go to their cafe and study sometimes and work, but the members lounge was only for a student, because I'm a grad student now, $50 a year for a digital membership where you don't get, I think you don't get tickets to their exhibitions, or you don't get their magazine, or yeah, you only get a digital version of their magazine. Anyway, doesn't matter. Art galleries are a great one for you, but there's plenty of other types. Private membership lounges, because when you get in there, one, you get a quiet, peaceful place to do your work and work on your projects and be locked in and be focused, or if you're studying, it's a fantastic place to study. And two, you just are around people who also have private memberships, and you realize they're just normal people. They're not even that glamorous. A lot of them are senior folks. I mean, maybe that's just the art gallery, but it's a super, it's just a really luxurious, civilized, clean, stylish way to live. And it's something that it's an identity that you can embody right now. If you already go to cafes, one thing you could do is go to the more higher end cafes. Like I would go to the Hilton lobby a lot. I love hotel lobbies. I think they're fantastic. They're just something about the vibe there is just so luxurious and inspiring to me. So pick what's luxurious and inspiring for you. But like if you're going to a cafe anyway to study or whatever, pick a really high end one if you don't want to get a membership, because it's the same sort of idea. But I recommend getting a membership. It works a treat, it works like a charm, and I use it all the time. But also because it's a fantastic place to study or work. They do cool stuff, like they have free magazines, newspapers. You just live on top of the world and you haven't really had to pay much for it. I do have a bonus tip which is more about manifestation. I shared it once. I was on TikTok for about 5 minutes when I kind of wanted to warn a lot of women about narcissistic abuse and just chat on there with anyone who was stuck in an abusive relationship. This was when I first got out and I was still recovering. I was just a wreck. I shared on there something I thought was very small, and I got a huge response, and it was this. If you ask for something from the universe, like if you ask for a sign, for example, or you ask, please show me my purpose, please show me clarity on this topic, don't forget to add that you want it to be shown to you in a way that is super fucking obvious for you. Just say, and please God, let it be obvious when you ask for things. I hope that makes sense. I know that's not an identity to embody, but you can ask. I guess that's the identity. You can be more specific about when you ask. You can say like, and I want it to be obvious, and I want it to be this, and I want it to be that, because I'm pretty dense and I just need you to knock me over the head with it. A lot of times I'll just say, like, please make it a burning desire in my heart if it's meant for me, because otherwise I'll just have these wishy-washy desires, and I am attracted to like so many different things. If you're a multi-potentialite, if you're multi-passionate, all those buzzwords, then you know that it's pretty hard to choose between projects, so you might want to ask just for it to be a burning desire in your heart. You get to ask for that. You get to embody any fucking identity you want to in the moment for 5 minutes. If you want, do it for 5 months. See how it works for you and let me know. Anyway, this is super fun and exciting. I'm just so energized to share this stuff with you. I hope it helps you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.